All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Jake has a little game for us set up. For me, I should say. He is going to play a few selected clips from our vast back catalog of pilots and shows. And it is my job, my duty, if you will, to guess where those clips come from. Do I get any? Is there any anything to make it easier for me? Like, is it Jeopardy
it's
rules?
multiple choice.
Okay,
so that makes it easier.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. I thought it was gonna be like I had to guess the number, and if I went over, I could it was the Price is Right rules.
No. Okay. Well, no, that would be impossible. I don't think you'd ever get it then. All right, and the audience can play along as well. First, I'm going to play the sound, and then I'm going to give you your options, and you're going to take your guess.
All right.
Are you ready, Mr. Charles?
I'm so ready, Mr. Gloth.
All right, here we go.
And he smiles. And he says, I want your teeth. And he swings the sledgehammer down onto the man who's buried from the neck down. I know immediately.
That was your. Oh, do you want to hear the options, or do you want to?
I know it's Splatterpunk. Splatterpunk.
Well, your options are Splatterpunk Season 2, Splatterpunk Season 1, Americana Bazaar, and Human Meat.
It's not Human Meat. It's not Americana Bazaar, right? I am almost positive it is Season 1 of Splatterpunk because I started writing a script for Season 1 of Splatterpunk, and that was the opening scene. And I remember having the thing, or he sledgehammers and the blood splatters onto the camera and it drips down and it turns into the title Splatterpunk. And that was when I dropped the title, and you were like, ooh, that's a good title. Yeah.
You're very clever, Charlie. Unfortunately, you started Season 2 exactly the same way you started Season 1 intentionally.
Fuck!
And that was Season 2 of Splatterpunk.
God damn it, because I was like, why did he want his teeth? But I'm also like, I could have just had him like
he needs
teeth.
his teeth for the...
He makes the doll. He makes the meat doll in Season 2. He doesn't make the meat doll in Season 1 because he wants to make... Okay.
Okay.
That was close. That was a close one.
But you got me there. At the moment. We're going into 2. You ready?
I'm ready. And so they go to Roethlisberger's, mannerly estate, and they just watch him for hours and hours, and he's just a morally upstanding family man. That's all they really see is him, helping his kids with their homework and, mowing the grass and, helping his wife pick out a new dining room table. And
now that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I'm
Your options are The Question, Poets of Flesh,
okay,
House of Malice, and Fallen Angels.
All right. Fallen Angels, I know it's not Fallen Angels because Fallen Angels was a Western. And this is more noir detective-y, because it sounded like a stakeout. Now, that could be The Question, because The Question is a detective noir a comic book character that we did a story with a show. But I kind of feel like if it was The Question, I would have used a name from a comic book. I would have incorporated a character. So I don't think it was The Question. I don't think it's Fallen Angels. And the other two options were
House of Malice and Poets of Flesh.
And Poets of Flesh. I am going to say Poets of Flesh. I think it was Poets of Flesh.
Damn it, Charlie. It's House of Malice.
Damn!
You are...
fuck. Because I'm 0 for 2 right now.
0 for 2. Now the third one, Charlie. Come on. Yeah. Okay, you can make it up for all of it by getting this one. This is probably the easiest one of the 3.
Okay.
I mean, the first one was pretty easy because you narrowed it down immediately, Splatterpunk. But this one... I think you're gonna get it.
Jesus. And Fred's just has this moment, and it's I am a person. I'm a human being. I'm not just a monster. And then he realizes how many millions of people he's directly or indirectly killed, and he's he breaks a little bit. You can kind of see it. He breaks. His mind just snaps a little bit.
All right, Charlie.
Who's Fred? God damn, I can't think of anyone named Fred.
Your options
He's killed millions of people? I didn't
Your
know.
options are House of Malice,
Okay.
The Hate, Carnal Impressionism, or Human Meat. I should say for the audience that all these shows are Charlie's shows. I wanted to make this easier. So again, it's House of Malice, The Hate, Carnal Impressionism, and Human Meat.
Be 100% honest with you. I have no memory at all of what happens in Carnal Impressionism. I think it's an artist.
It is.
It is.
It's set in L.A.
Set in L.A. I don't think it's Carnal Impressionism. I don't think it's Human Meat because the protagonist, one of the protagonists of Human Meat is totally unfazed by his destruction of other people. And the other guy spends the series trying to not hurt other people. So I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Human Meat. The Hate, and what was the fourth option?
House of Malice.
House of Malice.
Do you want to listen to it again?
No, I'm just like, because I would think this is now I'm getting into psychology of Jake Gloth here, because I'm like, there's no way Jake would do twice in a row. But
I would 100% do House of Malice.
100%. But now I'm like, but I think the audio quality was better. Like I was a better, I spoke better in the previous clip than I did in this clip.
If you were really clever, you would know the answer because of the audio quality in that last clip.
Yeah. I'm not that.
Which episode is this?
I'm not that clever. I'm gonna say it's The Hate.
You were wrong, Charlie. It was Human Meat. It's the end of Human Meat.
God damn it.
You're like, oh, yeah, it's the end of Human Meat. So that's right before the like skyscraper scene where he's looking out.
Yeah, but he smokes the cigarette. Yeah.
I was gonna do that scene. I was like, Charlie's gonna remember that.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I did not remember the main character's name was Fred. I did not remember that at all.
I thought you'd get that just because of the name. Yeah. I guess I was mistaken.
Roethlisberger it was House of Malice, right?
So 0 for 3. You got all three wrong.
All three wrong. Damn. Because I was like, you were picking shows that I felt like I knew also.
Yeah, I picked 3 shows that I thought you liked a lot, which is Splatterpunk Season 2, which is recent, so that one helps as well. Yeah. House of Malice and Human Meat.
Those are all shows that I enjoy. I mean, hell, I wrote a script for the Season 2 of House of Malice. I wrote a Season 2, Episode 1 script for that show, and it started crazy.
I did pick the most obscure part of that show because you mentioned character names constantly in House of Malice, so I had to pick a tiny part where you don't mention any character names.
Detective Smoke.
Besides,
I like Detective Smoke too. I think he has a cool superpower. And then there's a Nightwing character in that show, if memory serves.
There is, yeah. I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. He dies. His murder is the inciting incident. And yeah. That's a good solid mystery. And it's like Superman who kills him or something. I can't remember.
Well, Charlie, you know what else is a very good, exciting mystery?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long. With me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles, and excited for another episode of the podcast. We pitch new TV shows every single week. New episodes, new storylines, new characters, new worlds, all packaged into these lovely little short stories, movies, TV shows, and other stuff that we combine and create for your listening pleasure.
Every once in a while, a clip show, apparently.
Every once in a while, a clip show, which is what we did the little intro with for this episode. But I don't have a clip show of a TV show. I have an actual TV show for you this week, which is called...
Leave Us Alone.
Thank you, Charlie. Leave Us Alone. I had a couple different ideas for this one, but I ended up picking a space colony on the edge of the universe that wants to rebuild civilization from scratch.
You love a space colony on the edge of the universe.
I do.
That has to rebuild itself from scratch, because we've done that. You remember there was one show you did when we first started that I really liked, where it was like...
The Rim.
The Rim, where they were like Russians. Like half of them were Russian.
That's a different one. Yeah. I don't remember what it's called. That was called like That had a dumb name. It was like Mars something.
Oh, yeah, Mars Attack, something like that. I'm going to go through our podcasts, and while you introduce the Leave Us Alone crew.
I can picture, like, the thumbnail for that. I think it was, like, the planet of Mars and shit, and there was the Russians and the Americans were, you know, they, like, all went to Mars on a mission, and then the world exploded behind them, and they had to, like, figure out life.
Yeah.
But this is not that show. This is a different show. Basically, the premise is there's this visionary. His name's Draco Valois, and he is upset and beleaguered by the world today and the galaxy, full of conflict and corruption and evil. And he sets up like this. He wants to move out into the edge of space and start anew. You know, he's saying, like, everything that we've done here is terrible. We'll just take the technology we have, we'll start out, and we'll begin civilization again, way out on the edge of the galaxy.
You know what isn't terrible, and we did not have on the edge of the galaxy? Post-Marsdom. That's the title that we had for it. Sorry.
Post-Marsdom. That also might have been that we did another show that was on Mars. That might be that
Martian
one.
Madness and Post-Marsdom were both Mars shows that were like less than a month apart from each other.
Yeah, I don't know which one's which. I think Post-Marsdom might be the could that be the one where it was just like an apocalypse?
Oh, maybe.
And apocalyptic Mars. Yeah, that's that one. There's like there's a white-collar criminal finds his way off the planet or at least succumb to the... Yeah, there's just a guy that got put there as like a jail sentence.
Mm-hmm. Because Martian Madness, that's not a good name. We were not being very creative on that day. Martian Madness is the one where it's about the USSR and about America. All right, I'll stop interrupting.
Yeah, great stuff. Anyway, so the main characters of the show... Well, actually, I'll just get into the show and we'll come back to it. So I opened with Draco Valois, who's this visionary colony leader who wants to begin again and avoid mass conflict, civilization, all that stuff, and start again. He's giving this big speech at a spaceport in a large futuristic city. It's this amazing speech about corruption and war in society and how they can get rid of it all and by starting anew. Unfortunately, his proposal to nuke all civilization back to the Stone Age was rejected, so he's decided to gather his followers and fly off to the end of the galaxy in search of a new life. Hundreds cheer and board the ship as everyone gets ready to go off into space and live a whole new life. Everyone's excited and all happy. Hard cut to a massive hole in the side of the ship as air escapes and people fly out. A young boy named Alistair watches his parents die from the safety of the airlock, and in the immediate aftermath, we see that this ship that was once full of hundreds of people is now down to 30.
I thought this was supposed to be a less bleak show than last week's.
Yeah, I did say that. Besides the opening. And this young kid, watches his parents die, and in the aftermath, him and all the other kids are reassigned to their parents' jobs. So this young child is now head of security. His name's Alistair. Another girl, her name's Millicent, is now head of advertising because her parents were in charge of advertising. And then there's a kid named Yellow who's now head of farming. And this whole journey takes 10 years, so they have time to. They're probably ages between 8 and 13 or something. So they have about 10 years to learn how to do their jobs and build up knowledge and stuff as they get closer to the planet.
God knows advertising is so hard. You need at least 10 years of knowledge to figure out how to do it.
It's marketing and advertising, People go to college for marketing for 4 years.
I know.
So,
they're horrible people. You ever meet those people? Scum of the earth.
I have many times. Dated one of them. Anyway, terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, Millicent, Alistair, and Yellow. Those are the three kids that are kind of the main characters.
Ron, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I get it.
Yep, exactly. Not exactly. They arrive at Telos. Telos is the name of the planet. That was supposed to be this lush wonderland, but it kind of just looks like a big wheat field in Kansas, except it's not wheat.
Yeah.
it's just like these long sort of grass stalks.
It's grass that you can't eat. It's just shit.
Yeah. So they're pretty bummed about that. But it kind of has like, because Kansas, like when they originally found like the Great Plains, they kind of thought it was a big desert, you know, and it kind of has like a desert feel without being a desert.
Okay.
So just picture like endless wheat fields in all directions. So they land on this planet. And they start trying to grow their food. But of course, you know, they brought food from another planet and they're trying to grow it here and it doesn't grow. And they can't figure out why. And Yellow's pretty distressed about that because he's now the head of farming.
It feels like Yellow should realize that Earth nutrients aren't in the fucking dirt on a different planet.
Yeah, well, Yellow's fucking parents are dead and he's kind of got thrown into this. So
yeah, you dumbass. You don't have a real name. You have a color for a name, idiot.
Yeah, that's kind of something I did here too, because there's two other there's only two characters that have last names. That's Traco Valois, who's the visionary, and there's Derry Hess, and she's the lead engineer and machinist who really believes in Traco's vision. They're the only ones with last names. Everyone else in the show only has a first name. That's part of like their getting rid of the past situation, or like getting rid of history. But for some reason, like the people that are like in charge of the colony still have their last names because of it's not they're kind of hypocritical.
All pigs
almost,
are equal, except there are some pigs who are more equal than others, or whatever.
Exactly.
Something.
So they land on this planet, can't grow anything, and when they get there, Valois tries to give this big victorious speech, but he starts crying because he says they're all gonna die. So he like starts off this, mirrors the speech at the beginning of the episode about how they're gonna get rid of corruption in society. He was like, we can't even eat anything, we're all gonna die. And everyone panics and starts destroying shit.
I do like the idea of like, there's like 30 people and most of them were kids and they're all just kind of crazy, and so the second that their fearless leader even shows like a hint of being like not 100% on top of it, they just go feral. Like they're all just waiting for an opportunity to go full Lord of the Flies. I like that.
Yeah, it's not good. It's all people that grew up their whole lives basically on a spaceship. For a vision that their parents basically forced them into.
Well, like they basically joined a cult. Their parents joined a cult and brought their kids along, and then all died.
Yeah,
it's just.
And now they're like adults, but like they got forced into something they didn't really want to do.
They've not been able to socialize with anyone outside of these same 29 other people, one of whom is the cult leader for the last 10 years. They haven't had any media outside of what they brought with them, which probably wasn't very much because they're all about destroying the old world and stuff, so they probably only have the cult leader's books.
It's not good. It's not good. And now the cult leader is crying. So they're all pretty distressed. They can't grow anything. They're running out of food. And so Millicent and Alistair visit Yellow, who's being screamed at by Valois for not being able to figure out how to grow anything, and Yellow's all bummed because he can't figure out what to do. And so Millicent, Alistair, and Yellow decide to go out on an expedition to find food. I should also explain, Millicent's head of advertising and marketing. There's not really any marketing or advertising to be doing in a colony of 30 people. Alistair is head of security for the colony, essentially the sheriff, except he doesn't have a gun, has never shot a gun, and they have no weapons at all. He essentially just picked because that's what his parents did, and he has he can kind of yell authoritatively, but that's about it.
And he's 23, and it's like, that's I am now slightly older than 23, and it is amazing to me the idea of a 23-year-old being intimidating, because most of them very much are not. And
then there's Yellow, who is the head farmer, but his farming experience is basically playing like farming simulator games. So he's really into farming, but like he doesn't really have too much practical hands-on
doesn't really
experience.
Understand how any of it works. But he's like, yeah, if you press E, what? But there's no, I don't. Oh
crap.
No!
But also, it's not too much of a problem because it's like everything he learned on the ship about farming doesn't apply because they're now on a new planet. So, it's kind of
almost like this wasn't a very well thought out scheme. from this
No, it was
quote-unquote
not.
visionary.
So they decide to, Millicent, Alistair, and Yellow go out on an expedition to try to find food and save the colony. They go out into the wilderness, and they camp out in the wild, in the stalks, and they get attacked by a giant flying bat. It's kind of like the crows in like big wheat fields. Like it's kind of just like flying in, picking at them and stuff, trying to like get their eyeball or something like that. And they managed to get away from it by building like this giant scarecrow out of rocks. And it's apparently, for some reason, this giant bat is scared of rocks. So like, okay, so we figured out a way to keep this thing away. We just have to hold up this this giant rock scarecrow, and we'll be okay. So that's good. So they keep on going, and they eventually find an oasis, full of these like weird fruits growing off of rocks. But they grab a bunch of them. They're all excited and everything. But they get chased away by these giant rock creatures. Kind of, now we understand why the bat's afraid of rocks is because there's giant rock monsters
who live on this planet.
But they're pretty slow, and so they manage to get away. But they only managed to get away with one of the fruits, and they're like, okay, well maybe we can like plant it and have seeds or something, and we can grow more. That's when Alistair hands it to Yellow, who like cracks it open, and this gas comes out of it and just knocks Yellow out immediately. So now they've got to drag Yellow, and the audience, we kind of like wake up with Yellow, and that's where Millicent explains that like they looked at it with the scanner, and this thing that we thought was a fruit is actually just like full of like toxic metals and materials that I guess maybe the rock people eat, and this is their food, and there's no way we could ever consume this kind of thing.
This is deadly to human beings. Yellow, we don't know what's gonna happen, but it probably isn't going to be very good. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. So it's like, they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, what do these things eat? Like, what are, people like us supposed to eat if the rocks eat these fruits? Like, there's no food around here. And that's when they notice another one of the bats, and so they get the rock scarecrow ready. But they notice the bat isn't after them. It's after the stalks of like, this is big wheat, or like essentially a big wheat field, except it's not wheat. And the bat is eating the wheat. At no point, Charlie, did they think that maybe we could eat.
Oh my god! Damn, these guys are dumb.
So they cut up a bunch of it, and they bring it back to camp, and they find that like it's in its current form, they can't consume it, but if they distill it down, they can. So they come up with all these different things. You can make this like grass bread, soup, grass juice, etc. So that's their solution to their food problem. And the end of episode 1 is that they end up being able to eat all the grass.
So they landed on a wheat field planet and didn't think maybe we should try and eat this wheat.
There'll probably be some dialogue at the beginning where somebody like tries to eat it, and Yellow or Valois will be like, no, you can't, like, this is, you can't just go land on it. It'll seem super obvious to the audience too, like when you land, it's like, no, you can't just like freaking eat the first thing you see on an alien planet. Like, clearly that's not going to be good for consumption for us.
Also, I'm gluten-free. Can't eat this.
And also, like, we can't eat grass, Charlie. Like grass, cows can eat grass because they've got like multiple stomachs and can like
digest it more than once.
Digest it in some way. And we can't do that. But they don't even realize, like, oh crap, maybe we can eat the grass on this planet. So they can eat the grass on this planet, and that's the solution to their problem. Well,
at least they figured it out. Took them longer than it should have, but they figured it out.
Well, the episode 1's got to be about something. Episode 2. As I said, they're down to 30 people, and probably like 5 or so have died at this point from
they get carried off
riots
by
and
bats
craziness in the first episode and the bats. So in episode 2, they're talking about how they need more people. So this is where Millicent, as head of advertising, comes in. They start advertising over galactic radio, telling people to like come and join the colony and help us, build a new civilization.
And they're just lying, like, oh, come join this prosperous colony, have lots of different exciting food options, plenty of open space, a beautiful world to explore, and they're just eating grass bread and crying in hovels.
Yeah, it's not the best place. It's hard to advertise. But at first no one comes. But then it gets terrible because the only people that come are salesmen, scammers, and all these other crazy, freaking annoying people. So it's nobody that actually wants to join the colony. And Draco Valois is super distressed, and he bans Millicent from her job because it's ruining his vision of the colony untainted by corruption, because now it's full of salesmen and scammers. But, getting rid of her doesn't change the fact that there's all these salesmen, scammers, and tourists and big game hunters all coming into town to, they want to shoot the bats that were mentioned on the advertising. They want to sell them, I don't know, what does salesmen sell?
Vacuum cleaners.
Shoes, used cars. Vacuum
someone
cleaners.
we know was a Cutco knife salesman for a year. You remember how badly he wanted us all to be Cutco knife salesmen with him?
I do. He really got sold on that lifestyle.
Cutco knives. I don't think I ever saw a Cutco knife, though. Like, I don't think he ever produced one, but he loved talking about it. I hope he listens to this episode and gets annoyed at us.
Yeah. I probably won't. In an attempt to solve this problem, Alistair, Yellow, and Millicent come up with a ghost story that makes it sound like the planet is haunted, so none of these scammers will show up. But all this really does is switch out the scammers and the salesmen and the tourists with ghost hunters, enthusiasts.
We could have a fun crossover where you get your characters from a previous episode that were Haunt World. You get a Haunt World sighting. They show up and they're like, "This isn't haunted, you fucking liars!" And this bread's gross, and then they leave, and they're and like, take us with. Oh, they left. I didn't even get a chance to say, take us with you. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, Charlie. They come up with like this fake haunted story, and they get all these ghost tours, which is bad at first, but it actually gets a few people to join the colony because they're like really into like the whole ghost thing. They're like, we want to live on a ghost world. That's so cool. And it adds a revenue stream as well. So it actually kind of works out. Now they're giving out ghost tours as well. And they're giving out ghost tours, Charlie, of the old colony landing site. And the fake ghost story came out is that the ship's haunted because, all their fucking parents and hundreds of people died on it. And so it's not exactly fake.
No, it's not fake. It's just kind of sad. It seems depressing that Melissa is like, the ghost of my dad. Not like my great-great-grandfather. The ghost of the man who raised me.
I want a scene where Alistair gives like this really like heart-wrenching story about like, his dad on the ship, and he's like, I can almost hear him now. Is that you, Dad? Is that you? And he starts crying, and they get off, and the ghost tour's like, oh my god, that was like so eventful. And Alistair's just like snickering to himself, counting the money. Like, he's just so fucking, it's just emotionally just
of course.
bankrupt.
He seems like a chode, this Alistair guy. I like it.
And then the final episode idea I had was space missionaries flood the planet in an effort to convert them. Like to convert the populace to all their different religions. So it's not just one type of missionary. All these different aliens and humans and all these different things are all coming to convert them to all their different like types of stuff. And they're setting up all these like little tiny shrines and churches and like coming up with all these stories about how their god is involved in their planet and somehow. And all the people in the colony are all getting like swayed one way or another to one religion or another. And there's constant, people switching between different religions all the time,
fighting about it, and then they both convert to each other's religion. So the next week, they're same two people are having a conversation, but they're both on opposite sides than they were the last time they talked. Stupid people doing stupid things.
And so Draco goes to Alistair. He's like, "You're head of security. Like, you're supposed to be the one keeping these people out. Like, part of my vision for this colony is that we weren't going to have any religion." And I don't want like any of those old religions coming here to like, get us involved in the larger galaxy. And he's like, you got to get him out. And Alistair's like, I have no guns. I have no weapons at all. Like, how the hell am I supposed to like fend off all these space people coming in and asking our colonists to join their religion? So he has to come up with something. Even Yellow will convert to this like church of slime people who are like really obsessed with soil.
Yeah, that works.
Worshiping
that makes sense
soil.
For Yellow.
Millicent is kind of interested in this very clearly a cult, but it's got really beautiful pamphlets and advertising. And Alistair will be like, you can't be serious about joining them. And she's like, look at the pictures and the advertising. And he's like, Millicent, this is very clearly a dude eating another guy. Like, this is a cannibal cult. Like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, but look at the shade of red they use here. I mean, like, come on. Like, this is really clever advertising.
They can't be all bad. I'm just saying, maybe they eat people, but goddamn, do they have a good graphic design department?
They're really good. I mean, like, I could get involved in this kind of... I could learn a lot from this. It's like,
I could learn so many recipes.
So Alistair tries to get rid of them by banning religion, but finds himself attacked by a horde of angry colonists, and he has to hide in the central colony building as they're barging in with pitchforks and torches and all that kind of stuff. Yelling at him like, "Get out
I'm
here!
Gonna kill you!
Hang
you
you!" All
killed
that
my
kind
god.
of stuff. Yeah. And so his solution, as he's like trapped in the central building with them banging down the doors, and death is certain to come to him. He comes out wearing a robe, which is very clearly just like a curtain that he's like sort of tied around himself, and he's holding 2 tablets, and he claims that a mystical bat beast has come down and bestowed them on him. And the planet Telos has its own deity, and we can't worship any of these other space religions because there's a god on this planet, and we have to worship the god of Telos as the people here. And if we don't, he'll strike us down. And they're like, we don't believe you, blah, blah, blah. And very conveniently, or seemingly at that point, a bunch of the big bat creatures will like fly over the town. And we'll learn like that he actually just like set up like a trigger device to disturb a nest nearby.
Or he has feed stashed somewhere. I do think it would be funny if he saw, because this is obviously a Moses joke, right? Moses Brigham Young thing.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he's holding the tablets like that classic Charlton Heston pose of Moses holding the tablets. He's got the big flowing robes, and the bats come behind him and they fly past. And it's like, oh my god, this is crazy. He does have God's power. And then they all look back at him, and the bats took his robe. And so he's just staying there butt naked holding the robes or holding the tablets. And he's just like, I can't act like that wasn't part of the plan. I have to be okay being naked right now. Because I do love the image of this whole colony all getting on their knees and bowing down to a butt naked man holding 2 tablets.
And he explains that one of the tenets of the tablet is that they can't have any other space religions on the planet. And in fact, we can't even speak to them. So the whole colony starts ignoring all the missionaries. Like they just won't even look at them or speak to them. And so eventually they all leave. Except post-credit scene, we'll see that Yellow secretly still practices the slime religion. And he takes some slime and he like puts it under the soil and he like prays to it a little bit. And then a bat flies over and he screams and panics and he chucks the slime in the trash.
And he kisses his slime wife. Kisses his slime wife goodnight. He has a hidden slime wife in his basement. He's like, I love her. She's great, but I can never reveal my true feelings, or else the Bat God will be angry with me.
The Batman. That'd be funny, actually. You should name the
Batman.
The god Batman. And it's like an idea he got from like maybe he smuggled some cartoons.
He's watching he's watching from my favorite movie, Joker 2, Folie à Deux. I got the idea. Maybe what if it was like a man who was a bat? And then they're all just being like, all hail Batman.
All hail Batman. Yes. I kind of like that, actually. But that's my show. That's Leave Us Alone. More episodes just to be about like the colony living, independently and trying to avoid outer influences. Like probably there would be like at some point like a galactic war would start and like a Luke Skywalker character would show up like asking them to join. They'd be like, please leave.
Alone,
please don't
dude.
mess with us.
And it's like he keeps it keeps just falling into A New Hope stereotypes. Like they get a traitor to come by who hey, I have these two androids that I think you guys will find useful on the house. And he gives them, and they've got the, it's R2-D2 and C-3PO, and then they meet and then a smuggler comes into town, and he's got a big furry sidekick, and they're all just like, no, we're not doing this. Leave. Go away.
Yeah, no. Traco, that's where more Traco can shine. He can be like, no, we're not getting any of this galactic bullshit. You're not dragging me into some sort of rebellion against the Empire. Like, this is not happening. We're not doing any of this stuff. All right, we are outside of this.
Yes, we're done. I'm not involved in any of this. It's dumb. I think your haircut's bad. I don't care what kind of feudal religion or feudal governmental style the galactic government has that you disagree with. I don't care. It's a republic. It's a democracy. It's an empire. Totalitarian government. I don't care. We're done. We're living on this grass planet.
Yeah. Maybe some like old man will show up with a baby. And Teal be like, no. I know how this goes. Let me guess. The baby has special powers. And he's like, it's no. He's not letting him. We're not gonna grow up on the farm with us, only to, end up going out in the galaxy and fighting, evil forces, only for all of us to get burned alive because he grew up here. That's not how it's gonna happen.
Let me guess. Someone tried to kill the baby, but the baby survived, and now the baby has a funny shaped scar on his head. Oh yeah. No. Get out. We're not doing this.
Gives him a brochure of a list of other nearby, mostly deserted planets with small colonies. He's like, go to one of these. We're not messing around with this.
We want nothing to do with this. I do also I like the idea of an episode where they send out like a party to go, explore the planet, and the party finds another town that was it's identical to this town, except they're doing really well. Like it is a small group of travelers who want to escape the humdrum existence of modern Earth, and so they find this planet, but they figured out the grass stuff immediately. And they brought food that could actually grow here, and they have like technology and electricity and stuff like that. And everyone's kind of wanting to go live with those guys, and the main guy on our side is like, no, stop it. Why are you guys so committed to electricity? Isn't this nice? Isn't what we have nice over here? And then you cut to their village, which is just like a medieval village, and there's a dead horse in the street, and everybody's like, there's shit everywhere, and trash and rotted food, and that's my idea.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe that colony, the other colony, is like they had the reverse situation where instead it was the children that died.
Yes. So all the experts survived.
All the experts are alive. But when the kids want to the 20-year-olds and all that want to move over there, they start getting babied and stuff by the adults who miss their kids. Yeah. And they get trapped there and they have to break out. And they get back to their town. They're like, all right, well, you know what? It may not be the best, but it is ours. So
or maybe they accidentally kill all. They all get these pseudo parents, and they're all kind of that inner child is being healed. And then through their own incompetence and stupidity, they accidentally kill the entire town as well. So they all just watch their second, surrogate family all die. They're like, oh, damn it, again. I guess parents we're not built for parents.
We're not built for parents. All we have is Traco.
Yeah. And he's there, and he's like, hi. I can help out. Yeah. I'm doing good.
That would be funny if they end up destroying in some way that other colony, and they get back, and Draco's like, look, you finally came back, and you realize that having your independence and building stuff on your own is more important than stability and strong resources. It's more important about building something up on your own and making it your own. And they're all like, oh yeah, that's why we came back. Hard cut to the flaming wreckage of the other colony.
They all decided to pitch in and make a big celebratory dinner to celebrate all of the young people moving into the other village, and the Yellow, who is the cook because he's also the farmer. He knows the most about food, accidentally doesn't cure something long enough, and it just kills everyone. He's like, damn it! I should have read the pamphlet they gave me. I just thought I'd eyeball it, but oh well.
Or he maybe he makes them a meal that they eat all the time in their village, but because these people they haven't slowly built up a resistance to the way that maybe there's a way to eat the grass that's less toxic.
Yeah.
And the kids colony has been eating it that in the toxic way since the beginning. in like small amounts. So like they've built up this resistance to it in their stomachs, and the adults haven't, so they just all die
They
immediately.
all just die. Yeah, I like that. I like Leave Us Alone. It's a good show.
Me too.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles London. With me, as always, has been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, and remember, we'll be here next week with a brand new television series for you to imagine and enjoy, and the title of that series will be Jacob. Give me a title. This is we don't usually do this. I think this is the first time in a very long time that we're revealing a title on air.
Yeah, usually we know ahead of time.
Yeah.
You have to pick between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 5.
4, please.
Oh, you get Blood Magic and Radio Static.
Blood Magic and Radio Static. Hell yeah! It's gonna be about a late night radio DJ who falls in love with a witch.
It might be, based on you.
It might be.
Yeah, who knows? Definitely will be a radio involved.
Definitely will be a radio involved. It might be depressing and bleak, but probably not.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, you'll find out next time. But for now, we will see you later.
Goodbye!